Hi, so let me walk you through how we can use Teamhub to manage your team's time off, how you can set up processes for your team to be able to request time off through forms, and then for them to have visibility of everybody else's time, um, holidays, sickness, whatever it might be, for you to see a monthly calendar view for that. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'll go over here where I've got the HR hub that I've created. I'll create two new projects. The first is for them to be able to request time off, and let's create a blank project here. I'll make this project private because I don't want anybody else to see others' requests. I just want them to be able to see only times that have been approved. So let's first go ahead and just make this private to everybody but me. I'll just give this a color and we'll go in. For now, it's just me in there. So the project's created. What I'm going to do is create a approval process. So let's start by calling this approval requests and approved. So any tasks, any forms that are filled out on the form request, they'll come through here into approval requests. I can then either approve or disapprove. When I mark it over here as approved, I want an automation to then send that across to the new project that's visible to everybody. So let's do that now. Let's create a form first. Before I do that, I'm going to create two custom fields where we'll store the number of days and we'll store the leave request. So let's create that first. We'll go over here, custom fields, and we need a number field for the number of days. So let's go. And then a single select field for selecting the leave request type. So I'll go with just these three options for now. You can add as many different ones as you want in your own process. So two new custom fields, number of days, leave type. So now let's go ahead and create the form. Just some quick minimal changes to the banner. Set that there. Okay, so let's add in a request for their name. So and let's append that to the title of the, we'll map that to the title field in the task. And then let's set up the date, two dates. So starting date of your leave and ending date. So let's call this and then another date for end date. So and then a field to say how many days they've filled in. So the number field that we did earlier, number of days. And let's append that to the number of days that we created. And then lastly, the leave request, the leave type. So single choice, and we'll map this so that it just pulls in the leave type. And let's call this leave type as well. Okay, let's just save the changes. We can publish the form. We'll go to the settings and we'll map any of the fields that we want. We've already mapped the name to the title, so I don't think we need to do that. We'll copy everything else into the description. I want the task to be automatically assigned to me, so I'm notified as soon as somebody has filled something in. And then let's make this available to organization-wide. Thanks for submitting your form. And then if we take a quick look at what that looks like, yep, all looks good. So if we go to the form now, let's just do a quick test. So I want to book from 13th until the 17th, and that's 3 days, and it's just a holiday. And there you see the form has been filled in. I've got it assigned to myself, the title has been pulled in, and I've got all of the details there. So now what I want to do is I want to set up an approval automation. So if I drag this task into approved, I want it to go to a new project where everybody that's got visibility of all of the team members can see whether the task has been, who's on holiday and who's not. So now what I'm going to do is create a new project where once this hits approved, the task will automatically go into that, and that's the project that's visible to the rest of your team, and they can see each other's time off in that one. So let's create a new project now, start from scratch. And inside here, I'll have just the two columns, so let's just get rid of this. And what we'll have is to do, and then and I'll show you why I'm doing it this way in a sec. So two types only, time off and national holiday. And then anything that's a national holiday, we can just add that in here. For example, let's say we've got it like this. We'll set the start and end date, and I'll show you in a second why it's done like that. So it's from the 13th until the 15th or 16th. Oops, I do 13th until the 16th. So that now when we take a look at that on the calendar view, which is what the team will be using, they can see there's a national holiday there, and any others that they see across the different months, they'll be able to see exactly why there's a holiday period at that point. So now let's go back to our time off request. Let's set up the automation to say when that's dragged from here to here, it will automatically go and populate the time off, the team time off project. So automations, new automation. So when the task is moved from one column to another, i.e. it's moved from any column into the approved column, then I want to move it to the team time off, and we'll put it into the time off column there. Don't need the condition. Let's save that and turn this on. Let's just quickly test this. So if I drag this into approved, it's removed from here, and now it's sent over here. And as you can see, that because it's taken in the start date and end date, it's got the name on there, it's got everything that we need. We can now see full visibility of the team's time off. And that's a good way to just be able to set up a simple process. You've got a hidden project from your team with a form. The form takes in the information, sets up approval requests for you. You approve those. Once they're approved, they're automatically sent to the project that everybody's got visibility on, and they can now see the rest of the team's time off.